how did a state-owned Brazilian company building 18-seat turboprops for unpaved airstrips become one of the most powerful forces in regional aviation? Embraer didn't just manufacture aircraft, it revolutionized how airlines connect cities, match capacity to demand, and serve routes that larger jets never could. The answer begins with a single airplane and a problem no one else was willing to solve. In the late 1960s, Brazil faced a massive geographical barrier. The country's interior was filled with isolated towns, separated by thousands of miles of dense forest and rugged terrain, with almost no paved runways to connect them. To solve this, the newly formed Empresa Brasileira de Aeronáutica, or Embraer, focused on practical utility over high-speed luxury. The result was the EMB 110 Bandeirante, named after the country's historic pioneers. The twin-engine turboprop made its first prototype flight on August 9, 1972, and entered airline service in April 1973. Powered by reliable PT-6A-27 engines, the high-wing aircraft bypassed the need for expensive airport infrastructure. It could land on unprepared fields, bringing reliable scheduled transportation to secondary cities for the first time. With a capacity of 15 to 21 passengers, the Bandeirante was small enough to fill on thin routes, yet rugged enough to endure multiple daily cycles in harsh environments. An early commitment of 80 aircraft from the Brazilian Air Force in 1969 guaranteed the company's financial survival, allowing engineers to focus on real-world reliability. By prioritizing simple, unpressurized systems over complex technology, Embraer proved that a regional aircraft could thrive where major airliner manufacturers refused to fly. This practical design philosophy defined the company's identity and established a blueprint for every design that followed. By the late 1970s, the regional aviation market demanded more than basic utility. Airlines required pressurized cabins, higher speeds, and greater capacity to feed growing hub and spoke networks. Embraer designed the EMB 120 Brasilia to bridge this gap, launching a pressurized turboprop that flew for the first time on March 16, 1984, and received its type certificate on July 31, 1985. The Brasilia exceeded the 18-seat limit of earlier aircraft, offering a certified maximum capacity of 30 passengers. With a maximum takeoff weight of 26,433 pounds, it used Pratt & Whitney Canada PW118 engines, allowing it to reach cruise speeds of 310 knots and a range of 1,480 nautical miles. These capabilities allowed operators such as SkyWest and Mesa to run longer regional routes, replacing slower, unpressurized commuter models on busy feeder legs. Inside, a cabin height of 5 feet 9 inches brought standard mainline comforts to regional passengers. By delivering over 600 units, Embraer proved it could scale its manufacturing operations and design a true product family. The Brasilia established the manufacturer as a major supplier to global airlines, providing a highly capable foundation in turboprop design before the industry transitioned into the jet age. In the mid-1990s, the regional aviation market underwent a rapid transition. Passengers and airlines wanted the speed, comfort, and prestige of jet engines on routes previously dominated by turboprops. Embraer responded on September 14, 1995, with the first flight of the ERJ 145, a 50-seat regional jet powered by rear-mounted Rolls-Royce AE3007 turbofans. The ERJ line was not just a single aircraft, but a family designed to solve complex network planning problems. By stretching and shrinking the baseline platform, Embraer introduced the 37-seat ERJ 135 and the 44-seat ERJ 140. This three-tiered lineup allowed airlines to match capacity to passenger demand on thin routes without carrying the weight or cost of an oversized airframe. Cruising at speeds near 470 knots, these jets slashed travel times and allowed airlines to replace multi-hour turboprop flights with fast direct services. But the true commercial breakthrough was commonality. The ERJ 135, 140, and 145 shared 98% of their parts, systems, and cockpit layouts. A pilot certified on one could transition to another with just 2 days of difference training. This shared design logic meant airlines could pool spare parts, streamline maintenance, and optimize crew schedules, reducing logistics overhead by up to 15%. By connecting engineering with airline fleet strategy, the ERJ family established Embraer as a global force in the commercial jet market. In 1986, Embraer partnered with Argentina's Fábrica Militar de Aviones, or FMA, to develop the CBA 123 Vector. This 19-seat, high-speed turboprop was designed to replace the aging EMB 110 Bandeirante. It was an ambitious attempt to push regional aviation into a new category of performance, featuring rear-mounted pusher engines and a shortened Brasilia fuselage. The joint venture produced 2 flying prototypes, with the first taking flight in 1990. However, escalating development costs and a sudden market downturn forced the partners to cancel the program in 1991 before a single production model was delivered to customers. While the Vector never entered commercial airline service, it remained a valuable step in Embraer's evolution. This program showed that the manufacturer was willing to explore bold ideas and test the boundaries of regional design. The partnership with FMA widened the company's perspective and allowed engineers to master complex aerodynamics and high-altitude propulsion. Instead of a dead end, this experimental prototype acted as a laboratory, yielding technical lessons that directly shaped the successful jet programs that followed. Progress did not always move in a straight line. In the early 2000s, Embraer moved beyond the traditional narrow cabin of the regional jet to establish a new standard for short and medium-haul routes. The E-Jet family offered 4 distinct sizes on a single platform, allowing airlines to match capacity precisely with passenger demand. The smallest model, the E170, carried 66 to 78 passengers, while the slightly longer E175 carried 76 to 88. For higher density routes, the E190 expanded capacity from 96 up to 114 passengers, and the largest variant, the E195, stretched to hold between 100 and 124. This tiered lineup gave operators the flexibility to open new routes and adjust frequencies without carrying the financial weight of oversized mainline aircraft. Beyond fleet economics, the design fundamentally altered the passenger experience. Unlike traditional turboprops or cramped early regional jets, the E-Jet featured a wider fuselage with a double bubble cross-section. This structural choice allowed for a spacious cabin with high ceilings and a standard 4 abreast, 2x2 seating configuration. By eliminating the middle seat entirely, Embraer made regional flying feel like mainline travel. The aircraft bypassed the typical compromises of regional flying, offering an efficient and comfortable alternative that connected secondary markets directly. Through this family, Embraer secured its position as a dominant global force in commercial aviation. The E-Jet E2 family evolved as the next stage of Embraer's regional strategy, focusing on refinement over total reinvention. To address different route densities, the family includes the 80 to 90-seat E175-E2, the mid-sized E190-E2, carrying up to 114 passengers, and the flagship E195-E2, which scales to hold 146 passengers. The core of this design lies in the wing aerodynamics and propulsion. Each variant received a custom, high aspect ratio wing optimized for its weight class, paired with Pratt & Whitney PW 1900G geared turbofan engines. This combination reduces fuel burn by up to 23% while dropping airport noise levels significantly. For airlines, these upgrades translate directly into lower operating costs and a broader range for thin, long-haul routes. By building directly onto its most successful platform, Embraer secured its relevance for another generation, proving that deliberate, long-term engineering iteration can shape the global sky. Today, millions of passengers step onto regional flights without realizing their journey was paved by Brazilian ambition. As global aviation confronts a decarbonized future, the mission remains the same. Will the next generation of flight prioritize speed, or will the future belong to those who master connection?